I've never been so close to losing it in public in my entire life. We were already running late for the only direct flight to Disney my autistic 8-year-old have been counting down to for 312 days, when suddenly this woman in a blazer and a clipboard, our neighborhood HOA president Karen, appeared out of nowhere at the airport security line screaming that my son's noise-canceling headphones and weighted vest were suspicious devices. She literally blocked the entire family with her body, pointed at my nonverbal little boy who was starting to melt down from the noise, and told the TSA agent, "I'm reporting a possible threat. Detain them." My wife was shaking, my son was screaming into his Chewy, and 200 strangers were staring. Then the head TSA supervisor looked at Karen, looked at my son's medical ID bracelet, looked back at Karen, and said the 5 words that made the whole line gasp. "Ma'am, step aside for random screening." That was just the first 60 seconds. Here's exactly how it all exploded from there. My name's Mike, 34, dad of 2, and up until that morning, I actually thought Karen was just an annoying busybody who only ruined Saturday mornings with her lawn measuring tape. I had no idea she was capable of following us 40 minutes across town to the airport just to keep her vendetta going. See, 2 days earlier, my son Jax had a full meltdown in our cul-de-sac because the garbage truck was too loud. Jax is autistic, level 2, mostly nonverbal, and when he's overwhelmed, he screams and flaps. Normal kid stuff for us, nightmare for Karen. She stormed over in her neon tennis visor, threatened to call CPS, said we were lowering property values with that racket, and told us to control your kid or move. I told her, politely, to mind her own business. She did not like that. Fast forward to airport security. We'd applied for TSA Cares months ago, specifically so Jax could use the sensory-friendly lane. No loud machines, dim lights, a handler dog, the whole thing. We were pre-cleared, wristbands on, everything perfect. Then I hear that voice behind us. "Excuse me, officer?" I turn around and there's Karen, sunglasses pushed up like a crown, holding her phone up filming us, telling the TSA agent that my son's medical headphones look like bomb equipment and his weighted vest could hide anything. The line goes dead silent. My daughter Riley, 11, starts crying because strangers are staring at her brother. Jax is rocking hard, hands over ears, starting to headbang the floor. Karen keeps yelling, "I'm an HOA officer. I know these people. They're dangerous." The TSA agent, a big guy named Marcus, kneels down to Jax's level, shows him his badge like a toy, and says super calm, "Hey, Captain, you want to meet the puppy in the quiet room?" Jax peeks up, nods. Marcus looks at me. "Sir, sensory lane is ready. Follow Officer Rivera." Then he turns to Karen, voice like ice. "Ma'am, filming minors in security is a federal offense. Phone down, step over here for additional screening." Karen's face went from red to purple. "Do you know who I am?" Marcus hits his radio. "Need a female agent for a full random pat-down Concourse B." The crowd actually started slow clapping as we were escorted away. I thought that was the win. I was so wrong, because what Karen did next in that screening room, let's just say the entire airport was talking about it before we even boarded. But I'm getting ahead of myself. That was only the beginning of the most insane travel day of our lives. I thought the slow clap and Karen's purple face were the peak. I was an idiot. As we walked away with Officer Rivera toward the sensory lane, I glanced back one last time and saw 2 more TSA agents flanking Karen like she was a shoplifter. She was still screaming, "I have rights," while they guided her toward the private screening room with the frosted glass door. I figured she'd get a stern talking to, maybe miss her flight. Karma served. I should have known Karens don't miss flights. They weaponize them. We got Jax settled in the quiet room with the therapy dog, golden retriever named Captain, instant best friend. He calmed down in under 3 minutes, laughing at the dog's floppy ears. My wife Sarah was wiping tears, Riley was texting her friends, "You won't believe this," and I was finally breathing again. Then Rivera's radio crackled. "Concourse B supervisor needed. We have an uncooperative passenger claiming diplomatic immunity." Rivera rolled her eyes so hard I heard it. "Stay here. "Captain will keep you company," she told Jax, then jogged off. 15 minutes later, we're through security, shoes back on, heading to the gate, and the entire terminal is buzzing. People are pointing at their phones, whispering, some openly laughing. I catch a glimpse of the airport's closed-circuit TV screen above the food court, live feed of the security area, and there's Karen, arms crossed, refusing to take off her blazer, while 3 female agents and one very tired-looking supervisor try to explain procedure. She's yelling loud enough that we can hear her from 200 feet away. "I'm being targeted because I exposed a threat to national security!" A teenage girl next to us goes, "Mom, that's the HOA lady from TikTok." Turns out someone in the line had gone live the second Karen started filming us. The video already had 80K views. We get to our gate, Jax happily flapping at the planes outside the window, and I think, okay, universe, we survived. Then the gate agent calls my name over the intercom. "Mike Donovan, party of 4, please return to the podium." My stomach dropped. Sarah whispered, "They're not bumping us, right?" I walk up, and the agent, a sweet woman named Denise, leans in and says, "Sir, TSA asked me to personally apologize. Your family has been upgraded to first class, plus Disney Fast Passes waiting at will call, courtesy of, well, passenger backlash." She turns her tablet. The live stream is now at 400K, trending as #AirportKaren. Comments flooding in. "Give that family the whole plane." I'm still processing when Denise adds, "Also, the passenger from the incident has been re-entered the terminal. She's looking for you." I turn around, and there's Karen, blazer off, hair wild, marching straight toward our gate with a gate agent trailing behind her, begging her to calm down. She spots us and starts speed-walking, yelling my name like we're old friends. "Me! We need to talk about your son's behavior!" Half the gate pulls out phones again. Jax sees her, recognizes the voice that traumatized him 2 days ago, and starts screaming. Sarah scoops him up, Riley steps in front of them like a bodyguard, and I'm literally calculating if I can get us on the plane before Karen reaches us. That's when the TSA supervisor from earlier, Marcus, appears with 2 airport police officers. He doesn't even raise his voice. "Ma'am, you were issued a warning. You are now in violation of federal restricted area access." Karen switches to full Karen overdrive. "I paid for Mint class. I have a right to confront the people who ruined my screening." Marcus looks at me, deadpan. "Sir, would you like to press charges for harassment?" The entire gate goes, "Ooh!" Karen's mouth actually shaking with rage. She points at Jax, who's hiding in Sarah's neck, and screams, "That child is a danger to every passenger on this aircraft." The police officer sighs, pulls out cuffs, and says, "Turn around, ma'am." I thought that was the climax. It wasn't even close. Because what Karen yelled next, while being cuffed in front of 300 strangers, is the sentence that made the video hit 10 million views overnight and revealed why she really followed us to the airport in the first place. The officer snapped the cuffs on, and Karen lost every last ounce of composure. She twisted around, mascara rivers down her cheeks, and screamed at the top of her lungs so the entire concourse could hear, "He can't go to Disney because I already sold his Make-A-Wish spot." Dead silence. Every phone in the gate area froze midair. Even Jax stopped crying and looked up. I thought I'd misheard. Then Karen kept going, spitting venom while the cops tried to walk her away. That little freak got approved for a Give Kids the World trip paid for by the neighborhood fund I control. I swapped the names and gave it to my granddaughter instead. She deserves it more. You were never supposed to find out. My wife actually gasped so hard she choked. Riley whispered, "Mom, is she saying she stole Jax's wish?" Turns out that's exactly what she was saying. 6 months earlier, we'd applied for a sponsored Make-A-Wish style trip through a local charity that partners with our HOA's Sunshine Fund. Karen was approved, 7 days at Give Kids the World Village, private Disney access, the full dream package for nonverbal autistic kids. We'd kept it quiet because Jax doesn't understand waiting, but the paperwork had Karen's signature as treasurer. 2 weeks ago, we got a letter saying we'd been removed due to space. Karen told the board we withdrew. In reality, she forged a new application for her own granddaughter who has zero medical need and pocketed the $18,000 trip. She saw us at the airport with our Disney shirts and Jax's first visit button and panicked. She thought if she got us flagged or detained, we'd miss the flight and never make it to Orlando to discover the village had no record of us. Her plan was to have us turned away at check-in down there, then claim it was a clerical error and keep the money. The live stream chat exploded. "Embezzlement, Karen! Call the charity! Jail, jail, jail!" Marcus, the TSA supervisor, stone-faced, pulled out his phone and called the charity director on speaker right there at the gate. The woman answered, heard the story, and within 30 seconds was crying. "We've been trying to reach that family. The villa's been empty all week." She promised new flights, police escort, whatever we needed. Karen started bargaining. "It was just a mix-up. I can fix this." The officer tightened the cuffs and read her rights. Fraud, theft, harassment, filing false reports with federal officers, the list kept growing. Then the gate agent, Denise, walked over with 4 new boarding passes and a grin. "Mr. Donovan, Disney just called. They saw the stream. Your family now has the Cinderella Castle suite for 2 nights, plus a private fireworks and every character meal on property, compliments of half the internet." The terminal actually cheered. Karen was escorted out, still screaming that we didn't deserve it. Last I saw of her was on the news that night. Perp walk in handcuffs, blazer over her head, charges stacking up like Jenga. We landed in Orlando to a welcome committee, charity reps, Mickey and Minnie, and a giant sign that said, "Welcome home, Jax." He ran straight into Mickey's arms, laughing in a way I'd never heard before. The video ended up at 47 million views. The HOA board dissolved itself 2 days later. Karen's house is in foreclosure. The charity sued for every penny. And Jax? He rode Rise of the Resistance 17 times in a row, flapping and squealing with pure joy each drop. Sometimes the internet gets it right. Sometimes a Karen picks the absolute worst family to mess with. And sometimes, when your little boy finally gets the magic that was stolen from him, you realize the real wish wasn't the trip. It was watching justice hug your son tighter than any character ever could. Thanks for riding this insane story with me. If you've ever dealt with an HOA demon, drop your own war story below. And if you're heading to Disney with a special needs kiddo, hit me up. I've got tips, fast passes, and a whole army of strangers who've got your back now. See you in the parks.
If you enjoyed this story, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Every single subscription motivates me to bring you even more exciting and dramatic HOA stories. And don't forget to tap the bell icon so you never miss a new upload. I'll see you in the next story, where justice gets even more satisfying.